Well, lordy, 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 lordy. Here we are again, watching the newest, the freshest
The
of
new thing.
Marvel, the new thing, the freshest Marvel movie. We just got done watching.
We just consumed new product.
We did. Product was arrived and product was consumed. We just watched The Marvels.
The Marvels, directed by Nia
Person?
DaCosta.
Okay.
Nia DaCosta, starring Aman Vellani, Teyana Paris, and
Brie Larson.
Brie Larson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Are you familiar with the director? Like,
she's an indie director. I know
Okay.
that she's got like one or two movies. So it kind of the same vein as the lady who directed The Eternals.
I had this vision in my head of like Kevin Feige shows up in like the dusk, right? The darkest hours, right as the sun starts to set, the moon's not even out yet. Kevin Feige shows up. There's a fog machine. He's dressed like Mary Poppins. If Mary Poppins was covered in like cobwebs and dust, and he like just shows up to these directors' houses. He's like, "Would you like to direct a movie?"
You just have to sign over your soul.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. And that's how like a lot of these indie directors end up getting hired on.
I mean, honestly, like from what I've read, it sounds a lot less like directing and more like just kind of being the cheerleader of the movie. I feel like Kevin Feige does a lot more directing than what people really think.
I suppose so.
And I read that Nia DaCosta actually pieced out to go work on her next project before post-production for this movie was even finished.
Well, I mean, okay, so like in the grand scheme of how directing modern blockbusters go, I don't think the director is even really that important.
Yeah,
anymore.
a lot of people were bitching about, oh, she took off before post-production was even finished.
It doesn't
What
matter.
does a director do in fucking post-production?
I
mean, you
well,
can be involved in the editing process and stuff like that, but you aren't, like, your job as a director is mostly to be directing, like, the on-camera work and stuff
Well,
like that.
I mean, like this isn't the old days. Like none of these people are like Francis Ford fucking Coppola or some shit, right? Like they're not. God, what's his fucking name? The Shining guy, Kubrick. Right, like these aren't directors that are gonna be sitting there in the editing room for fucking months, making sure like their art,
Right, and
their
I think
art, their vision is fucking realized, because like it's a fucking Marvel movie.
Well, yeah, and I was gonna say what I think it boils down to the most is that they like there is a wider vision for what's going on with Marvel, and they like the directors of each individual movie aren't necessarily the ones who are in charge of that, and so
No.
their job is to come in, direct the actors, get the movie shot, and it basically at that point like they're pretty much done.
Their job is to elicit a emotional performance from the talent.
Right.
And
exactly.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
So
Because it's not their movie.
so
It's a product.
as and being as a product, what did you think of said product, Jeff?
It was good. I will give it a more favorable than bad opinion.
Okay.
I don't think it was bad, and I'm historically very critical of most. I can't get fucking comfortable. I'm historically more critical of Marvel movies because I am a huge Marvel Comics fan,
Sure.
and I would rate this more favorable than not favorable.
Okay.
How about you?
I liked it. I liked it more than I thought that I was going to. I read a lot about it because every time that we go see a movie, because we do these reviews, I tend to read up as much as I can.
Right.
And I try to absorb as much about the movie before I go in. Just because I feel like that gives me a little bit more insight to give like a more honest opinion of everything overall. In reading about this movie, I didn't like. I was excited for it in the lead up to the movie because I really liked Aman Vellani. I thought that she did really, really well in Miss Marvel, and the early trailers that I saw had me really hyped for the dynamic between the three of them and everything like that.
Right. I did. Okay.
We'll talk about.
Well, I mean, like I did like the miniseries Miss Marvel. Although one thing that I did have a complaint about was after episode 2, they stopped doing the really clever editing,
Yeah,
and
I
that just
noticed
kind
that
of
too.
fell off.
Yeah, all the
but
comic book stuff and everything that was supposed to make her,
and it
more
was cute and it was
Right,
cool
right.
and it was fresh and it was engaging. But when that fell off, it actually really gave her and her family a chance to shine as actors,
Sure.
which is cool. It was great. It was a great series, honestly.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of neckbeards were like pooping their pants over it, but it was good.
A lot of neckbeards are always pooping their pants
They're-
over Marvel.
It doesn't matter
It does. Yeah,
what
it
it
really
is.
doesn't.
The neckbeards will always poop their pants. But no, it was good. And then she was even better in this movie than that series, and she was great in that series.
which we'll get to.
Yeah.
I will say that as the movie release got closer, I got less and less hyped. I saw marketing material that made me worried. I read a lot of
Why?
just because it looked like it was going to be kind of corny, and it looked like it was going to be.
It was
kinda-
corny.
Yeah, and honestly, like the criticisms that I had were valid, but those things didn't bring the movie down. Like it was
Right.
corny, and it was there were cliche superhero movie moments. It did feel like a product of the Marvel movie machine.
True.
But it didn't feel like in recent times. I would say that I liked this movie as far as Marvel goes. I liked this more than anything that I've seen since No Way Home. I thought it was.
I hated No Way Home.
I liked No Way Home when I saw it. I became more cynical towards it afterwards.
I watched it. I like, no joke. I watched No Way Home 4 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went back and I rewatched it 4 days ago.
I'm sure it
and
doesn't
I
stand.
Fucking hated
Yeah, I was
it.
gonna say I don't think that it stands on its own now. but,
Although
like,
I loved. Okay, so the thing about No Way Home is Tom Holland's best performance in a Marvel movie is in that movie. He does fan-fucking-tastic in that movie. Death of Aunt May, like the way he deals with it, his performance is stellar. And seeing Alfred Molina yet again as Doc Ock, fucking rad. Fucking rad.
after you get over the member berries, though.
No, I mean
not a
it
great
doesn't
movie.
even fucking matter. But
Yeah.
but everything after that is just like, sure.
Yeah.
It's not great though.
I liked it more than Quantum Mania, which you really liked.
I did.
And I liked it a lot more than Multiverse of Madness.
I hated Multiverse of Madness. Oh my
and
god!
I think it was better than the new Thor movie too, which I can't even remember what the fucking name of it was. So, but I would say that overall, I'm more favorable to this than I thought that I was going to be. I thought as I watched stuff leading up to it, and I read all the spoilers and plot summaries and everything like that. And I really like reading it on paper. I was like, this doesn't sound like it's going to be as good as it is. And then you see it, and you see some of the ridiculous stuff that you read about, and it's not bad. Like
Right.
it actually works in a campy kind of way that's not terrible.
Yeah, no, it's campy in the right kind of ways. It's eye candy in the right kind of ways. The acting serves the plot. Before we get into like the aspects of the movie that we like, it's something that I want to touch on real quick. So I'm looking right now at Marvel Phase 4. Okay, these are the movies that came out in Marvel Phase 4. You ready for this?
Sure.
Okay. Black Widow.
Didn't even see it.
Oh my god.
I've seen parts of it.
Oh my guy. It was so shit.
Yeah, that's what I've
It
heard.
was
That's
so
why
shit.
I didn't even bother.
All right. Shang-Chi.
Ugh.
I mean, the
It
bus
was-
scene was awesome.
It was an okay movie at best.
right. It was fun. It was fine. It was
fine. That's the best that
The
you can say about
the
it.
bus scene was awesome, and the rest of it was fine.
So we just talked about this yesterday, but I will say I am not an Aquafina fan, and like I think that Aquafina was better in that movie than Simu Liu,
Agreed.
and that's bad.
Also, she was pretty good in Renfield.
Anyway,
After that was Eternals, which was
the worst
fucking
Marvel movie
awful.
ever, still in my opinion.
It is actually the worst Marvel movie ever.
Yeah,
No Way Home, which we're
nah.
split on, and Multiverse of Madness.
which was
Yeah, I didn't like it.
I rewatched that a few days ago just because I was like,
I
well, I'll
did
give
too.
it another chance.
I
'cause
did
it's
too.
Sam Raimi.
Yeah, no, I did too. And there are so many aspects to it that I love, but overall, I hate that movie.
Yeah.
I really do. Thor: Love and Thunder, which we're
Love and
split
Thunder,
on.
right? Yeah,
I love it.
Nah, that movie was trash.
I love it. I love it, and the parts that are trash, I love them for being trash.
It's such the tone is all over the place.
I know. It's incredibly shit. But the parts that really like connect with me, I really enjoy. Even though I can accept that it's a bad movie. It's not a good movie. And then lastly, Wakanda Forever.
That movie was also bad.
Yes.
I have no problem saying
That movie was very, very, very bad. So far in Phase 5, as far as I can see, the only other movie in Phase 5 so far has been Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and now this. That's it for Phase 5. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That's wild.
So.
No. Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Oh yeah.
My bad.
And
My bad.
honestly, I kind of like this movie a little more than Guardians 3.
I don't even remember anything that happens in Guardians 3.
Then this one must have been better, right?
Yeah.
So,
it was so lackluster, I didn't even give a shit.
What didn't you like about the Marvels?
It didn't make any sense.
Okay.
And I think that's it. It comes down to like nitpicky stuff for me. Things are like, well, but why with that? But why with that? And actually, I do have one major complaint. I still don't know who the villain was. What was her name?
Darman? Oh no, that's the YouTube guy. Darben.
Darben. That was the name of the villain.
It wasn't Binars.
But there was something that sounded like Binars.
Darben.
No, there was some other like it was the singing planet people. They sounded like Binars or something like that.
I don't know. But
you are fucking me up. Anyway, but what I'm trying to say is my main complaint is there was a villain and they stated why she was a villain, and I didn't give a shit.
Yeah, there was no.
I couldn't care less. I have no idea.
This movie suffered from the biggest critique that Marvel has ever had, and that's underdeveloped villains.
Right. Right.
There was literally no character development for the villain.
We have no reason to care why this person is a villain.
The very first scene in the movie, you see her like searching out her fucking like power bracelet thing that she's going to use to take over the universe. They don't tell you who she is or what she's doing or anything. You're able to like defer for like figure out. Yeah. You're able to put all together that, oh, she's the leader of the Kree and she's mad at Carol Danvers for some reasons, but like they don't explicitly tell you that, and they don't give you any kind of narration dump or any kind of backstory or any kind of anything.
They pay no time, no attention to it whatsoever. It is always the universal failing of any superhero movie. If you don't take care of your villains, the movie suffers for it.
Right, because
every single time.
Why do you care? Like, you need to be able to sympathize with your villain for some reason. Otherwise, they're just generic bad guys.
This villain at several points calls Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, the Annihilator. The Annihilator. And you don't get a nickname like the Annihilator because you were like the den mother for the local Cub Scouts, okay? That's not what fucking happens. And she's like, oh, the Annihilator. And then when Carol finally is like, well, I was called the Annihilator because I killed their giant, oppressive, authoritarian AI. And then everything went into chaos and whoopsie doopsie, oopsie poopsie.
And you don't see any of that. You just get Carol fucking crying about it. Like, oh,
and
this
nobody
is what happened.
And nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit. They're just like, well, these people suck. Like, why don't they just fucking tough it out or some shit? What a bunch of bitches.
Yeah.
You know?
I would say...
Don't they know that Carol is, like, the best? And if you want to have a humanizing moment, if you want to have some depth to your story, you have to play into, like, why is this person so mad? Why was it so bad that the thing that held their society together was destroyed? Show us. That'd be great.
I would say that other than a wholly underdeveloped villain and maybe some motivations in the movie and like some science things that really didn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
Other than that, like if you can turn your brain off and ignore some things,
Yeah.
I think it's a very enjoyable movie.
It's okay. So there's two ways to look at the Marvels. One is as an independent, solely on its own sci-fi film, in which case it fails spectacularly on several narrative levels
Sure.
because it doesn't establish intent, purpose, and drive. Those are missing from the movie.
Okay.
We're just reacting to a scenario.
Sure.
Right?
Right.
And that's not a good movie. But as a product, the other way to look at it, as a product, it's totally fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's totally fine.
Right.
It's enjoyable and interesting, and you don't have to think about it, and it's fun.
Sure. And I mean that's kind of what these movies are at this point. You have to accept that you're not going into a Marvel movie and seeing it as its own thing because that's not what these are anymore. We are so far past that.
No.
There is nobody out there who's
It's
going
a spectacle.
There not only is there nobody out there going, "Huh, can I see the Marvels if I haven't seen this and this and this?" But like how many of those people even exist anymore that haven't seen like if you are invested in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you've probably seen just about everything there is at least up until Endgame.
Probably, yeah.
At least up until Endgame.
Yeah.
And then, maybe there's some stuff that you haven't seen here or there that do I have to catch up on? But there's nobody out there who's like, oh, I'm not familiar with Marvel at all. Should I have to watch all 34 fucking movies that there are before I go into this and 18 television shows?
Yes.
Well, you probably don't care if you haven't. And if you have, then you're going to see this anyway,
I've seen them, and so do you have to.
Right.
Do it now, consume. Okay, stand-up performances.
Amon Vellani. There's no question that Miss Marvel was the standout character in this movie.
She's fantastic.
Everybody's saying that, and it's because it's true.
It's true.
She is fantastic.
She's really fucking good.
She's
man.
funny. She's got the best actual all-around performance, I would say.
She makes the movie. She really does.
Yeah. I mean, it would be a completely just okay, if not like bland movie without Amon Vellani. She completely elevates this to a point where I would say it's worth watching.
How do you feel about Brie?
Brie Larson, I would say that I have warmed up to her more. I've seen her in other things. So like I understand like her caliber of an actress is she's a better actress than some of the stuff that she's given.
Oh yeah.
I don't like none of the emotional shit between her and Monica Rambeau. Like I didn't like it wasn't
really
believable
care.
at all.
Yeah.
Like and I think honestly that comes down to Brie's performance. I think that she was fine like in every other part of the movie, but where she was interacting with Monica, I just didn't believe it at all. That didn't land with me.
Do you think it's Brie or do you think it's the direction on it?
I don't know.
Because Brie Larson can act the shit out of some shit.
The biggest disappointment as far as like actors go in this movie that I had, Samuel L. Jackson.
He was really phoned in.
Yeah, I mean, I
he
would say
he was cashing that check.
I would say that like 70 to 80% of the scenes that he's in, he's just sitting in a chair like I am right now.
Yeah, he's old.
I know he's like in his 70s or something like that.
He's just cashing
and
them checks, man.
These friends, let's go beat these people up. Just
go get them kitty cats.
Yeah, exactly.
Get the kitty cats, swallow some people, whatever.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Let me. Oh man, I don't know. Any specific bads
besides the character development on the villain, and like some really stupid science stuff. Like the plot of this movie is they're stealing resources from other planets. What is that like? Fucking, it's the theme of some other science fiction.
Spaceballs.
Yeah, like Spaceballs or fucking the Mars. What is that?
Mars Attacks?
No, the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Total Recall, where they make an atmosphere on Mars like that. It kind of reminded me of that a little bit.
To us, to Mars.
Yeah. they're stealing oxygen. They're
Fucking
stealing,
Cohagen.
they're stealing like all of that stuff. Like it's really stupid in that you've got these Kree on Hala and they're like waiting for their sun to turn back on, and they're all just standing there in their regular clothes, and it goes from like nighttime to like daytime when their sun comes back on, and you just see people standing there like basking in the rays of the sun, like they wouldn't be freezing to death without a fucking sun or
I'm not
something like that.
Hausam Quaid.
God.
Yeah, no, that is very stupid.
So
That's very stupid.
those two were like my really only like big griefs. I went into this thinking of it more like a kids movie.
Sure.
And so I was able to forgive a lot of the sci-fi stuff. Like Marvel they're not trying to live in our reality.
I
like
don't
they were
tend to
with
get
Iron
so
Man.
nitpicky, but I mentioned this earlier today, right outside the theater when we were talking about this. And one thing that really actually kind of pissed me off is at the end of the movie, Carol Danvers goes to the Kree planet Hala. Hala!
Holla!
Chakala!
20-inch rims on the Impala.
All right, anyway. I'm so glad we did that together. And she goes to the sun and dives into it and restarts the sun. And I was like, wow, that's cool. And then I thought to myself, like, wait a minute. Hang on a second. Wait. So you can just dive into a sun and you can just like restart a sun, right?
It's got an on-off switch in the middle.
Well, I mean, like, look, it obviously takes like a lot of energy, right?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But then I just watched you for 2 hours struggle to like fight this chick who just has a magic bracelet. Hang
She
on.
is the most powerful character in the MCU.
That better be a really powerful bracelet, because like you can literally restart a sun. Okay, you know. I'm just hang on.
What I really loved too was at the end where Monica sacrifices herself.
Oh,
And she's
God.
like, I've got to stay here and close it, as there's a big fucking open window that she could just like go through. But she's like, no, I'm doing this for you. And like, yeah, that was kind of dumb too. But
They needed to have like an inappropriate 80s or 90s style, like fucking all of a sudden music like Sting. Like, I don't know much, but I know I love you. Zoom.
yeah,
So speaking of that, so are we ready to talk about the post-credit scene?
yeah, I think that's really sure. Yeah.
Although before we get to that, one thing though that I did love about this movie, I loved the singing and dancing planet.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I missed some of that because I had to go to the bathroom, but I did catch.
Missed
I know.
out, motherfucker.
But I really loved the training montage that you were asleep for, where
There was this training montage.
yeah on the ship.
I passed out for
yeah.
like 4.5 minutes.
They were all switching places, and they were learning how to do it, and it was really great.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was really fun.
No, that sounds great.
It was great.
That
Too
actually
bad
would have.
you were asleep.
Well, fuck me. I guess I'll have to go watch it again. Okay.
So
So post-credit scene.
there's
This
there's,
is
there's
important.
well, there's two.
Right.
I mean, there's an end scene that's actually before the credits, and
Right.
then there's a post-credit scene.
Right.
The end scene is Kamala Khan mirroring almost word for word what Nick Fury says to Tony Stark at the end of Iron Man, at the end of the
And he
stinger
wants to
there.
get Kate Bishop, the new Hawkeye, to be part of her new team,
Her
Young
new
Avengers.
team.
Young Avengers.
Did you know Ant-Man has a daughter?
I did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cassie.
So yep, that's the first scene. And then there's a second.
And this is where things get kind of interesting. So I have a lot of theories. Now, did you notice that Monica Rambeau's mother, who is also the Spectrum, a.k.a. Captain Marvel, in that reality that she slipped into,
Mhm.
was also the Captain Marvel in the Multiverse of Madness?
She was the same actress.
That's
yes.
the same actress.
It's not the same universe. Those are two
It's not
different
the
universes.
same universe, but same actress.
Right.
Now, that's interesting. That's pretty fucking interesting, which means that in at least quite a few different universes, Monica Rambeau's mother is most likely Captain Marvel.
Right.
Right. And then we have Beast. And it's not what's his fuck from like Renfield and all that shit.
Nicholas
Holt.
Nicholas Holt.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nux from fucking Road Warrior.
Right. Yeah.
It's not him. It's the voice of Kelsey Grammer
Yep.
as
It's
a
Fraser.
CGI beast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's pretty fucking interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like talking about all this kind of shit. And she's like, okay, well, shit, she's in a universe where mutants exist.
Well, and he says Charles is waiting for an update. When when Beast said that, there was literally a girl like 3 seats over from me on the edge of her seat, and she goes, "Charles Xavier!"
No way. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I mean, look, it works.
It does.
Right?
Yeah.
It works.
It draws people in.
So here's where I'm actually pretty interested in this kind of thing. So we already know that the next big thing with Marvel is the multiverse. It's Kang. It's whatever. And we know that they're going to go for Secret Wars. And Secret Wars is largely all about different universes in the multiverse colliding, incursions, that kind of thing. This is my theory. My theory is that by the end of the Secret Wars collision of like big Marvel arc, that's how they're going to bring mutants in, is that one universe with mutants is going to collide with the mainstream 616 universe, and they will fuse. And from that point forward, once they're done kicking the shit out of Kang's asshole, then we'll have mutants, and like that will just take over.
I don't even know. Like, I have no theories at all. Like, I'm at this point. I'm interested in Deadpool 3.
In 6 years, every single actor and actress will have been in one Marvel movie.
Probably.
Yeah.
I honestly am surprised it hasn't happened yet.
And everybody who owns the DC property will still be crying and masturbating with their own tears.
So overall, would you say that you recommend going and seeing the Marvels?
I feel like you just tried to shut me down right there.
I did. I'm glad you noticed that.
The moment I started talking about masturbating.
Well, I'm uncomfortable because I don't do that.
You keep your body pure.
That's right.
For Carol Danvers.
Well, for whoever my future wife is, I'm saving myself.
Would I recommend it? Actually, yeah, I would. I would
Yeah.
recommend it.
So you think the shills are wrong then when they all say that it's a terrible movie?
Yeah, no, it's not a terrible movie. I think it's very enjoyable. If you like Marvel movies, this movie is better than every single, unless you really love No Way Home, it's better than every single Phase 4 Marvel movie out there.
I agree.
You know?
I think it's better than No Way Home as well.
Alfred
I
Molina.
I will say that I think that this is probably like one of the best Marvel movies to take a kid to.
Yeah, sure, yeah. Especially young kids and whatnot.
It's geared a little bit towards a younger audience, but it's still something that adults can enjoy.
Yeah, sure.
You know, I didn't find myself bored through it at all.
I'm cool with that. Like, it's totally fine. I don't need my superheroes to be edgy. Blah. Like, it's fine. It's cool. It's actually really nice to inspire kids to like comic books.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely.
Yeah,
and
I think
I think that Iman Vellani is going to do a really great job at that. So, and
she's
I'm honestly
great.
I'm excited to see where she's able to take the character. It was a character that I really didn't give a shit about until she started doing something with it. So.
Really, 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 really hope she doesn't have like some big like celebrity scandal in the future.
I really hope that they bring in somebody great to play Squirrel Girl. That's what I hope.
Someday they're gonna find like skeletons in Iman Vellani's like closet or something.
She'll be fine. She'll be fine. I think that they're probably gonna find skeletons in Samuel L. Jackson's closet.
They're buried a long time ago.
So, but yeah, no, it's a good movie. Go see it, and it's better than what people are saying.
True.
I don't know how the box office will do. I know that apparently this movie was really expensive to make with reshoots and stuff like that. There's probably a good chance that it won't make its money back. I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
not like I don't do box office
It's
movie
probably
math and
gonna
stuff
do
like that.
okay here, and then it will earn like $1 billion in China.
You think it'll earn $1 billion? You think that it'll be really popular in China?
I think the Chinese really love Brie Larson.
Really?
I do.
So the Chinese must? Is that your logic?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so 100 million here and then 900 million in China.
Good night.
Take care. Go see the Marvels. It's okay. It's not as bad as they say.